win, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. But I feel like our guys are still trying to compete, and I think finally we've all it's been a couple of days since we've had our full roster, which is kind of depleted anyway. But getting RJ back, giving us a little bit depth at the guard position to spell some people with minutes and stuff like that, I thought that helped. It helped us definitely down the stretch defensively.
It was a tough first half shooting. Didn't start off the game shooting very well at all, but able to keep the game close within 3 at halftime. That's been kind of a problem over these last few games is when you're struggling offensively to keep the game close, but you did that today.
Yeah, it is. It is. You got to hit shots. I mean, I don't care what anybody says. You got to be able to step up and hit shots. And that first half was very tough. But I tell you what ends up helping you build your team and build confidence is the fact that we were able to stay in the game and be only down 3 the way they were shooting the basketball. So I get hats off to our defense for tonight. I'm really proud of our guys doing that and not giving up.
Speaking of defense, Marcus Price was having a big game, and then Dorian Gigger comes in and decides, well, that ain't happening anymore. Dorian gets 3 blocked shots. Thought he played tremendously defensively.
You know what he did? He did. I mean, Dorian has freakishly long arms, and he was able to contest those shots, which was what we needed. He did start off. We watched a lot of film on him. I thought we were set to be able to defend him, but he turned out to be better than what. I mean, we respect him. There's no question about that. And so we were hoping that we could kind of limit him a little bit. We could not. As you know, Coach does a great job with that team, and that's a very, very talented team.
Led by Theron Chilton tonight with 22, and yet another strong game for Gary Inglet, 21 and 13 tonight.
Yeah, exactly. Those two have been very consistent for us. And I'm telling you, once, RJ's going to get back on rhythm, and that's really going to help us. But I'm proud of him coming back in and being a defensive presence, which we needed. He was very unselfish, giving up the ball, and he did some really good things for us. So Theron doing exactly what he needs to be doing for us. And Gary, as you know, he's been pretty consistent doing that.
Got some minutes out of Denver tonight, 5 minutes playing, and good to see him back on the court. It still seems like he's got a few games before he's back in the form.
Exactly. I mean, he hasn't been able to practice in the last 2 weeks, really. So it's going to take some time. But we wanted to test it out and see where his leg was. It seemed, and I can't wait to get back in there just to find out how he's doing. So, as you know, in this conference, it's a quick turnaround, and you got to be healthy. So, very little that we can do tomorrow to get ready for a very, very, as you know, team that made it to the Final Four. So we got to be ready. They're going to be definitely ready. I think they had a bye tonight due to weather, so I'm sure they were here, but we got to be ready.
Rashawn Alexander in the first half got off to a hot start, and then Jonathan Reed came in and really did a nice job defensively on him. I know you're always praising Jonathan's defense, but he really came in and made a difference against Alexander.
He really did. He really did. And I think the thing was that they just stayed up and played some solid defense. A couple of times there we were gambling a little bit early, and we were trying to get a feel for him a little bit early, and he's as good as what we saw on film. And so I'm proud of Reed coming in and defending the way he did, and giving JD opportunity to get a little bit of a break and then come back in and play. So we had to switch a couple guys off, a couple of their other guys too. So it was a good win. I'm very excited about this win.
St. Greg's obviously coming off their best season last year. What do they do that's so dangerous offensively?
You know what? I just think that they got a very confident team. I mean, when you go that far in the national tournament, that's a lot of experience, and that's a lot of experience coming back too. So they're really confident. They know they believe in each other, and so you figure. I mean, they got one of the best scorers in the league, and Marty, and he can score, and John can do a great job hitting threes. I just think that they're a very veteran and experienced teams, but we'll be all right. We'll get together and we'll group and hopefully come out with a pretty decent game plan and try to compete with them and see what we can do. But they're very talented, very, very talented team.
All right, Coach. Good luck on Saturday.